Let's turn this thing around. There we go. Not even gonna show the whole green screen. No, not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent. Hello, my name is Darren. I'm a dad. I'm an airline pod. I am a husband of a scientist. It is Wednesday at 5:36 p.m. Just landed a 777-200 from Rome right about 3:10 p.m. today. So I've been awake for a long time. Um, while I'm waiting for people to join my live, I'm going to Google the current time in Rome. Time in Rome. It is 12:36 a.m. in Rome, meaning I've been awake, not awake. I've been kind of awake for a long time. I woke up this morning in Rome about 6 o'clock, so about 18 hours ago. Now I've had a nap on the airplane, but still been a long day for me. Good afternoon, Mr. Blaze, Alex, Charlie, Paul, and Mikhail Swartz. Mr. Taylor, first IOE tomorrow. It's gonna be good weather too. Nice headwinds. I'm guessing you're flying out of DFNW. Congrats on passing your MV. Hey, Ale. Start your ground school. What are we talking about? Nice. So again, everyday study, and then when you have a question and you're not at flight school, write it down, make a note on your phone, and ask every single question. Today's flight was long. Again, we left Rome. Well, I left the hotel about 7:30 a.m. Rome time for a 10 a.m. departure. Um, long day, long day indeed, and there'll be a video about this eventually. Probably about 2 weeks, maybe a week or 2, we'll have to see. I know people enjoy my trip videos more than my informational videos from the view count, but I do have I have so many videos, like, that are in process that I haven't finished. So I'll have my one for tomorrow, hopefully finished for tomorrow, about my training, and then I have another one about my month of March, so we'll have to see how many I can and then, of course, there was Sun and Fun as well. Doing fairly well, Manny. Pretty tired, but I'm on adrenaline, so I'm gonna stay awake till I go to bed tonight. DFNW is doing the Texas shuttle with One Mexico overnight. So I assume they've warned you about Mexico, Mr. Taylor. Your bags will be searched upon arrival. If you have too many electronics, they could confiscate them. It's very rare, but if you have the company iPad and your own iPad and a cell phone, that's one too many devices. Per Mexican regulations, most time they let you go, but if you get somebody crazy, they might confiscate one of your items or make you pay a fine. What my rule of thumb is, if you want to confiscate one of my items, you can have my company EFB. You'll be responsible for delaying my flight for tomorrow if it's not charged. Hey, Jenny. Rivian, J Blaze, so far so good. I'll have another video about the Rivian soon. Um, people seem to enjoy. Oh, it's backwards. People seem to enjoy my car videos, so I'll probably have an update maybe every other month about the Rivian. I did do a battery test on our Model Y because they have you can test how well the battery is holding up after 5 years, almost 5 years. It is at 87% state of health, so it's pretty good for 5 years. Old car. Next, I'm on reserve. I'm on reserve all month long, so I have no idea where I'm going next. Per my schedule and our contract, I probably have room for one more trip for the rest of the month, and then I'll be done for the month. Heading out to London next month. Any recommendations on food or places to stay? No, I'm not a food person. If you see the place that has Greek tacos, try one. French tacos, try one. But places to stay, I only know where our hotel is, and I don't say where we stay. Shout out from Barbados, BGI. I've been there once, Mr. Greenidge. Hey there. Almost done with IFR training. My plane doesn't have autopilot. Rex on maintaining heading and altitude while pulling up a plate and briefing. All about trim, huh? It's trim, trim, trim. And you should be able to hand the aircraft off to someone else. If you have an iPad, you can preload the approach plate and slide it over. If not, we used to use a thing called a trip book. So you pull out the plates that you're going to use and have them in a small binder. You can just open the binder too if you don't have an iPad. Well, I didn't know that. I guess I'll be taking my company. Yeah, again, Mr. Taylor, it's very rare, but at least in our manuals, it does tell us about Mexican regulations. And here's the thing, and I'm being serious. They think you're going to go down to Mexico and sell your iPad or electronics to make extra money. because they have high taxes on their electronics down there. If you bring an extra iPad down there, they think you could go on the corner and sell your iPad. I'm not kidding. Now you know me. I have so many. I'm a walking Best Buy. I've gone to Mexico with two iPads, two cell phones. I've never had an issue, but it is in the books. Started flight training yesterday. I know this is a long way down the road, but how is hiring looking for the future, Mr. Hayslip? Again, retirements. There's a lot of people who retire from my airline, and since you're a nice person, I will log into my company website and tell you exactly how many people are going to retire from just my airline in the foreseeable future once I unlock my password manager because I've been gone so long. My computer's like, "Who are you? Prove that you're you." And logging in, personal and profile. Yeah. Uh, Retirements for the rest of 2025 is 649 pilots from today. 649 pilots from today have to retire this year at my airline. Next year, it's about 900. Year after that, it's 800. Year after that, it's 700. So 7, 8, and 9, 23, about 3,000 pilots have to retire from my airline before December 31st, 2028. Yeah. So that's 3,000 pilots. So meaning I'm number 9,000 right now. So I'll be roughly, in theory, if they're all senior to me, which they aren't all senior to me, but I'll be like number 6,000 here in just 3 years or 3.5 years. Yeah. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Hey, from New Zealand, I'm gonna go there. I started my pilot training down here. Hopefully, getting my solo circuit in 6 to 7 flights. Don't First, hey, Mr. Wright, don't focus too much on when you solo. Again, if your buddy soloed in 10 flights, another buddy said in 5 flights, you solo when you're ready. Because soloing is a big deal. So when you solo, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Hey, you can see my wife's birthday gift to me. She bought me a 777 for my birthday. And so she bought me this 777 for Christmas because she didn't realize how small it is. And then she bought me this 777 for my birthday. And this is a 300. Yes. And then I do have my shorty sporty Airbus 319. She also bought for me. My wife buys me airplanes. And then on my desk, I also have the Super 80. The only plane I'm missing is a Envoy 145. La 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 la. Hey, Darren, I got the chat. Sorry I haven't responded to your email. Work has been crazy. Sorry I missed the fun. It's been fun. Hey, no worries, Mike. No worries. Thinking about joining ATP by July. A little worried about the hiring environment. Here it comes and goes. It does, Lupin. And you will never know in this industry if you're joining on the bottom end of a hiring curve, the top of a hiring curve, or the going down. You won't know. And all I can say is go for it, right? We only live once. And when I got hired by my first regional, I got hired on the down part of a hiring curve. Yeah. You're very welcome, Mr. Hayslip. Wait, riding on your company currently from Charlotte to Phoenix. I'm sorry. Tax Pass 777. Instantly thought of you. Crazy how you're alive at the same time. Hey, Andrew, enjoy your flight. Sorry about Charlotte. But you're leaving Charlotte, so that's a good thing. You're welcome, Mr. Taylor. Yeah. Again, what I also did, Mr. Taylor. I was Mr. Taylor. It's funny. Is I would separate my electronics. So I carry 3 bags. So I put one iPad in one bag, another iPad in another bag, that kind of thing. So, did the Italian controllers treat you well this time around? No, there was some drama with the Italians. They talk so fast in the heavy Italian accent. Yeah, and I'll be 10,001. Hey, Mr. Herrick, what's the visual difference between a 300 and a 200? Well, Paul, there 300 has a wider wingspan, a longer fuselage. That's the biggest difference. Wider wingspan and longer fuselage and an extra exit. So on the 777-300, there are 5 exits. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. On the 200, there's 4 per side. So 4 per side on a 300. Sorry. Um, 4 per side on a 200 and 5 per side on a 300. My birthday is March 21st. So wait, 3,000 pilots, does that include FOs and captains? Yes, it does. Yep. And so it's probably a lot of captains, to be honest. But yeah, it's 3,000 pilots total on the seniority list. School starts Monday. Mr. Herrick. It's exciting. Exciting. And scary. Mesa and Republic joining. Respectfully, no comment. Hate my career and life trajectory. Willing to put in the work and transition. Plus, always left flying commercially. Yeah, never followed it. Yeah, again, you only live once. I'm glad I do what I do. Where did your wife get the models from? So she got this one from eBay. It was hard to find, but because it was some sort I was closing down. It was old stock, but still old, a dusty box, but brand new inside. But they're all Skymark brand. And Airbus 321, will you guys go flaps one for takeoff most of the time? And how long do you think the 321 IAE engines have at your airline until their retirement? A long time till they retire. Most takeoffs were flaps one. I think it was just flaps one or three for takeoff, if I remember correctly. Three was very rare. I did do a flaps 15 takeoff today in Rome. And a 200, a 777 200, most time you do flaps five takeoff. And a 777 300, we only do flaps 15 takeoff. It's just because. But because of the weight and performance, yada, 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 we did a flaps 15 takeoff out of Rome today. Could you possibly explain what you found out about Piedmont or the regionals while outside and fun? Yes, Mike, it's coming. It's coming in a video. It's coming in a video probably about a week or so. As far as what they differ, and yeah, and so it'll be in the video with nice explanations for you. Hi, Darren, your videos are very inspiring. I'm currently a college student, have a hard time justifying going to aviation because of the extreme time and money invested in my education. Computer science. Well, Mr. Lin, so computer science degree, right? One, good at you because I couldn't do it. I'm guessing you're young in your early 20s. You have a lot of time left. You could use your degree, make some money, establish your life, your social life, your family, pay off some debt from loans, get some money in the bank, then use that money that you're making to pay for your flight training. And if it takes you 5 years, who cares? You have a job, you have an income. Even if you finish by the time you're 35 years old, that's still 30 years in the industry left. You just missed Pisces by a day or so. I know. When I was used to read horoscopes, I'd read both Aries and Pisces because depending on the newspaper you read, I'm old. Watch 7 cruise at a much lower altitude cruise when heavy compared to other wet bodies. Engines and wings. Like the 787 can go up right away. The 200 can typically go up higher. The 300 is always a pig and is always down low. Hey, are there any tips for putting together a good pilot resume? Love the content, by the way. Claudius, um, look at oh gosh, I'm tired. La 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 la. Claudette Carroll, and she works for. Oh, I'm tired. It's a Claudette Carroll Aviation Consulting. She worked for. I don't see it anymore. But there are aviation companies that can help you with the resume. I can't think of off the top of my name ahead with who I'll recommend, by the way. I'm sorry. Um, but you can look for aviation pilot resume help assistance. You might have to pay for it. One thing they emphasized about Mexico and training was the terrain. Yes, there's lots of stories about Mexico terrain. I have stories about Mexico terrain. Stay on the airway, know where you're going, and you'll be really good at DME arcs. Now your aircraft is really good at DME arcs. The 145 was not. The 145s we had, you'd be coming into Mexico, and you'd be coming in toward the arc, and you turn 90 degrees to get on the arc, and at that moment, both FMSs would say GPS lost. So you have to quickly go to green needles, twist 10, turn 10, twist 10, turn 10, twist 10, turn 10, all the way around the arc. Let's change my question. My fiance and I love watching your videos. She's already been at flight school for a few weeks and loves it so far. We both want to be pilots. Awesome. Thank you, Lupin, for your support. And I mean that. Hey, Mr. Muhammad, all is very well. Thank you very much, Mr. Bradshaw. How are the lows? Do you see them going down? We weren't full today. We had like 230 passengers at 272, I think. And they are going down because of the tariffs and the issue, not just tariffs, the political climate in the United States. Were you PF for the flight? I was planning for the flight on the way back. Hey, Darren, thank you for being an example to follow and mentoring us younger folks. Someone who is trying to stay in the DFW area. Skywestern Envoy as a first regional. Thanks. Skyline Aviator. Depends on what your ultimate goal is, right? And there's perks to both, right? SkyWest, they have fly for multiple airlines. You get a taste of Delta, taste of United, I think, still, and taste of American. You can be based anywhere from here to Newark to Chicago, somewhere out west. Envoy, you only flying for American, only flying the 175. There's also PSA in Dallas as well, also a wholly owned. Uh, there is some security in working for a wholly owned, right? Because the main line will take care of the wholly owns first, and then the fee for departure carriers. Um, they have, more, at least for Envoy and PSA, you have a higher priority for standby for non-road travel. I don't know much about SkyWest, to be honest. I know they have no union, but you can't go wrong either way. You'll hear negatives for both. I like my time at Envoy. That's what I'll say. Will your video about the regionals talk about the cadet programs? Yes. It'll be hopefully a very detailed video. It'll take me a while to produce it, so I gotta have some time off to do it. Hey, great to meet you last week. I DM'd you about my regional recruiters summary. I did. Thank you, Adele. It was very nice meeting you as well. Good luck on your CFIing. And this guy, Adele, is hustling. He's a hustler, absolute hustler, like just killing it. And I wish you were like in Dallas. Well, I say for car repair stuff, but might have EVs now. But I used to like to fix my own cars, do basic maintenance, but now I don't do that anymore. Rome was very good. Little cool, little cool. I did about 6 miles of walking yesterday. But I was exhausted. I tried to stay awake till late at night and I couldn't. I got there, I took a nap for about 2 hours, woke up, went walking, and about 7 p.m., I couldn't function. I tried to edit a video, my brain was not having any of it. Started working at CFI. Any tips, advice? Yeah, and I remember what it's like to be a student. If your students aren't succeeding very well, it very well might be you. What I used to do as a CFI is after I would teach a lesson, the next time I had those students, the first thing I would do would be like, "Hey guys, what did we learn last time?" And see if they actually learned anything. And they'd be like, I would have a small discussion about what we talked about to see if I could pull it out of their brains to see if one, I effectively communicated the information, and two, if they got it into their heads. But always ask before you turn on a battery master, hey, what exactly are we doing up in the plane today? To make sure they understand, because the worst thing to do is go over there and say, okay, let's do steep turns. Oh, that's not what you want to be teaching. What's the highest flight level you've flown at? Flight level 410, very rare. Hey, Darren, how long would it take from a new hire to be Captain 787 or Airbus, let's say at Philly? I can't tell you off the top of my head. I don't have access to that easy. I can see their seniority numbers. I can't tell you when they were hired. I have to dig into that. You can DM me on Instagram. I might look it up for you. What do you think about the programs that take you from zero to airlines like ATP? I've heard some not great reviews of ATP. So ATIS, you will hear bad things about everything. You will hear bad things about iPhones, about Android phones, about Bose heads, no, Apple AirPod Maxes, which I can't stand, but they're good, but they need an off button. About Bose headsets, you will hear bad things about everything and good things about everything. You have to decide for you. If you are not someone that is self-motivated, that can learn on your own, and that you can push yourself, you probably won't do very well there. They're not gonna hold your hand. They've been doing this a long time. They know what they're doing. No matter where you go to learn to fly, big name school, small name school, you need to have boots on the ground at that exact location w- in the time frame that you're going to be attending there and see how you would be happy there or not. Not, well, Darren, I'm going to ATP. I live in Oregon. There's an ATP nearby. I'm going to go visit that one, but I'm going to go train down in Florida. No, you need to fly your rear end down to Florida, go to that actual location and see how that location is run, how that environment's gonna be treating you. At the end of the day, the FAA issues flight certificates, not flight schools. At the end of the day, you need to find somewhere that is safe, has a learning environment that you can learn in, and fits your budget. Safe, a learning environment that you can learn in and fits your budget. It doesn't matter how fancy the airplanes are. Do not pay extra money for glass. It doesn't matter. Learning on glass or a steam pack, whatever, it doesn't matter. Learn on the safest, cheapest plane you can learn on. Airplane can does that all the time with FMS, very thankful. Oh, so yours, yeah. So you know twist and turn 10. Where would you retire? In DFNW. I've always wanted to be a pilot. Did an intro flight a little while back and was rather underwhelmed, hoping the experience doesn't mean anything for the future. Mikhail Schwartz, not really, because you might have had a bad CFI. Maybe you had an off day. Listen, I love flying. Some days it's a job, right? I'll be honest, today I was sitting there over the Atlantic Ocean, like, yeah, I'm tired. How many more miles? 4,000 more miles. All right. Was a JetBlue for 23 years as a reservations trainer. Unfortunately, got laid off due to workforce reductions. Fortunately, got to their gateway program before leaving. Can I join? Can join JSX at $600. Hey, Nick, there is a pilot on Instagram and on TikTok. She doesn't post a whole lot about her job, but she does post every now and then. Her name is Hannah Enimo, Eniemo, I believe. Very, very awesome young woman. Are there any airports that require special training for arrival departure on the 777? No. On other aircraft, yes. Like Vale, Eagle County Vale on the Airbus. I used to fly to Tegucigalpa. That did. JSX, I know very little about them, but my Hannah's happy there. Rivian is doing very well. I'll have a video about it probably in a month or so. Um, I did get back from service. They had to fix my USB ports. It was a very nice service appointment. They did give me Uber credits, not a loaner car, which actually ended up being in my advantage. 'Cause I used Uber credits to go to Love Field last week to go to Sun and Fun. But the truck's great. It's in the garage. It's gonna be a garage queen like my Tesla was. My Tesla I had for 2 years. I put on 11,000 miles on it. The Rivian probably about the same. It's my fun car. I think eventually EVs will be need auto service as well. They will. After I finish all my ratings at ATP, do I have to become an instructor for them, or can I be an envoy instructing lead instead? So you can't really teach at envoy because when you can do the envoy cadet program. But my understanding is the cadet program is really just you are a CFI at some flight school that they partner with. Do you think you would be getting any trips to Frankfurt anytime soon, Mister Blaisdell? I hope I do. Frankfurt and Dublin are on my list. Unfortunately, I am on reserve. So, due to the contract I'm under and how much credit I already have due to my vacation, I have room for one more trip on reserve this month. I could do a trip on overtime as well, two trips, one more trip on overtime, but I'm at the mercy of what is in open time. I am bidding has open for next month, um, and I am going to bid for a line next month. And as far as my seniority in base, I am. Oh, it logged me out already. Wow. Last I looked, I gotta wait for this thing to load. So I am number one. No, sorry, I'm number 203 out of 259 pilots in my status. I'm number 203 out of 259. They have 193 line holders. Now you would think that make me not a line holder. If I'm number 193, if I'm number 203 and they have 193 line holders, except there are more than 10 people who are senior to me that will bid reserve because they always do. So I'll hold some kind of line next month. Um, I'll have very little say in what I get. I get like leftovers, but I can trade. Amazon. Um, okay, wait, to be as a passenger, does your body get used to the pressure? Yes. So, seven, do you ever look at the QRH or everything that's on the electronic checklist? I look at the QRH every now and then, not often though. But the normal checklist I look at the abnormals, not really. You recommend someone getting the CFI and training people to build time? I know it doesn't require if someone has a good job already and looking to switch careers, would it be best the way to go? Mike, there's nothing wrong with that. I CFI'd now back in my day when I was doing this. I'm much older. You didn't have the CFI for as long. Nowadays, you have to have 1,500 hours for most people, right? It might take you longer. So if you have a normal job, you might have to either CFI or rent planes to get your hours in. You can find a good place to CFI that treats you well, pays you appropriately, and has good hours. That's a good way to go. I like teaching. Do you talk to passing aircraft over the Atlantic? Only about turbulence, pretty rare. During cruise over the Atlantic, when there's not a lot to do, how do you pass the time in the cockpit? I cannot use any electronic devices, period. So I can't edit videos. I can't have my phone turned on. I can't have my iPad turned on. We tell stories. So me and the so we had a 3 pilot crew going to Rome, right? Well, I can tell the same story twice. How? Because I thought so we take off out of Dallas on the way there, and the relief pilot goes back. So it's me and the captain, and we tell our stories. Then captain took a break. Here came the relief pilot. I told the exact same stories. The relief pilot. And then I left, and the relief pilot told the same stories the captain told on the way there. So we tell stories back and forth. And sometimes we just stare. But there's stuff to do as well as far as our navigation log. Always updating the weather around us to make sure we have somewhere to go and that kind of thing. During do you have plans for a second career after retiring from the airlines? Yeah, to annoy my wife. I'm doing that career right now. Been married 20 years. Flying out of regional, does 1,500 hours in a 172 look as good as someone with jet time? They don't care, to be honest. If you have jet time, cool, but it's pretty rare, right? At least in the current environment. We're sitting in the cockpit for hours at cruise. Do you ever regret going to 777 and miss the Airbus? Yes. Every time I get my meal. I got my crew meal today. I had to back up, get this dang yolk out of the way, and eat like a Neanderthal on my lap. No proper tray table. I do miss the Airbus. I do, but I do also like the 777 as far as in the schedule and the lifestyle it affords me. I mean, I had just one leg today. It was a long leg, long leg. Don't get me wrong, but I also got paid to sleep. I took off out of Rome. I flew about 2 hours. Took a 2 hour nap. Came back up front for 2 more hours. No, came up front for 3 more hours. Took an hour and a half break. Went to the first class seat. I watched 30 Rock. 30 Rock episodes on my iPad. I got paid a lot of money for an hour and a half to watch 30 Rock episodes in a first class seat. I went back up front for 3 more hours and I was done. Hey, Mr. Rumsey. How do pilots trade trips? Do they have a message board? It depends on the air. Good question, EBC. Depends on the airline, right? At this airline, we have our own proprietary trip trading system that the airline built for us. There are message boards as well on Facebook that say if you have a trip that you don't want, you can say, "Hey, I have a trip. I don't want it. Anybody want it?" That's another thing people can do. Putting on the seniority pane, I'm not likely to get the stations I want for 15 years unless I get lucky. Yeah. Yeah. But again, I don't mind. On a bad day, I fly 777 to London. If you do get the chance to go to Germany, I suggest you check out this Punto IT Pizzeria. I went there years ago. It was the best pizza ever. Interesting. Found Hannah Nemo. Thank you, sir. You're very welcome. Does not having a CFI hurt? No, Mr. Vieira, it does not hurt. I talked with a young man about this over at Sun and Fun. Some people love to teach. All of us have had a bad teacher in our lives. We've had somebody that was teaching us that should not be a teacher. If you don't want to CFI, don't CFI. Save your money. But you need a plan to get your hours in. Don't be the person that gets through all the ratings, says, "Yeah, I'm not going to be a CFI." Hey, Darren, how do I get my hours in? You need to think about that before you even started flight school. And it's like when you were 16 years old, you had your brand new driver's license. No one's gonna hand you the keys to a Corvette and say, "Oh yeah, buddy, hey, go have fun." No one trusts you when you're low time. So it's hard to get a job when you have 250 hours and nothing. You have to either rent a plane, you need to find places that will hire you that low. It's hard. And I had no recommendations for you. I had no idea. I've been out of that environment for 18 years. On Roma on the 22nd, maybe I get to go back. It's a long flight. You drink lots of water. Any advice for a student pilot just starting their journey? Yeah, Jay Smoke. Ask lots of questions. Even the dumb questions you think are embarrassing, ask them. Understand you're gonna have some amazing days as a student pilot. You're gonna have days where everything clicks. Everything clicks, and you're just gonna be done with the lesson like, man, this is awesome. And then you're gonna have days where you screw up. This minor thing, and you can't do anything right. Your maneuvers will be like trash. You're gonna make horrible radio calls. You're gonna just onto the runway and think you broke the plane. And it's fine. It's part of the learning process. You take the good and you deal with the bad and you move on. But ask lots of questions and understand it's a process, it's a marathon, it is an achievable goal. You will have great days and bad days, and you can absolutely do this, but ask lots of questions. Favorite layover location is Incheon. Have you put any captains on your do not pair list? Not on the 777. No. One on the Airbus. Company buys Airbus 350. Would you change to it? I would. I absolutely would. No question about it. Should not allowed to use personal electronic devices even when on a scheduled break? Yes. I can use a. I should have clarified that. I cannot use any personal electronic devices on the flight deck. In the personal break, I can do whatever I want to. So if I'm on the bunk, I'm in the chair, I can watch all the iPad I want. Sorry about that. Almost done with the live. Tips on flying IMC, loading, briefing, approaches. Um, I talk about trimming the airplane, and then if you're a single pilot or you're in training, even at the airlines, we hand the aircraft off to the other pilot. So coming into Dallas today, I've landed on 18 right over 1,000 times. I still say, okay, Captain, your aircraft, I'll brief the approach now. It's a VFR day. It wasn't a briefing or briefing, but still, I handed him the aircraft and I briefed the approach. They take the aircraft back, and that's how we fly it. Thank you, Mr. Paris. Recommendations for flight headsets for student pilots starting out. Mr. Blaisdell, buy so get a good David Clamp. Now, if you have a giant head, like some of us do, I'm not judging you, they might be a little tight. You can adjust them. But David Clark's, the green ones, they got big, thick ear seals to block the noise. That's important. Yeah, Bose headsets, they're cool. A lot of money. David Clark headsets are durable. Buy one used if you can. They last a long time. You don't need to buy a new one. You can buy a used one and save $100. Buy a used one, save $100. Then when you're done with the training, you can sell it to the next guy. How long does it take to get your PPL? It depends on how often you train. It took me my first logbook. I started training May 5th of 2006. I got my check ride on private MEL check ride. Where's my private single check ride? Oh, I started May 5th, 2006. I got my check ride on July 18th of 2006. So it took me what, 1 month, 2 months and 2 weeks to get my private pilot. That's training 3 days a week. Current study for my CFI feels really strange to just get up in front of people and teach. Hey, Owen, I got you. I'm an introvert. Thanks for taking the time to these lives. You're very welcome, Ray. And thank you for your support. Honestly, thank you for your support. I'm just a guy. How different is the communication between pilots in the United States versus Europe or Asia besides the language gaps? Have you noticed differences in procedures? Not procedures. Phraseology can be different. The biggest thing is the English is not their first language, and the accents can be heavy. And David Clark Celia, play us at ATC. Gotcha. How much do you make your first year Boeing 737? I don't fly a 737, so I made $0. My very first year flying, where is my pay statement? I keep it on my desk, but I cleaned my desk, and it is right. Nope, that's not it. That's my private certificate. My first year flying, I made $24 an hour, which is about $24,000 a year. I made considerably more last year, but yeah. Last one will be Mr. Eduardo. They gotta go. Wait, if there's an absolute family emergency and they need to contact you, what's the protocol? Seeing that you aren't allowed to use devices in the cockpit. Well, again, if I'm headed to Rome and there's a family emergency, my wife knows there's a number on the refrigerator, and my kids know the number on the refrigerator who they call. So if they need me back here, there is no point in telling me while I'm over the Atlantic Ocean they need me back in Dallas. I can't turn an airplane around. We will land, and they will send a message to the airline. The representative of the airline will tell me this they need me back at home or whatever else is going to happen. But there's no way of contacting. There's no emergency in the world. They would send me the message in the flight deck. There's nothing I can do. We're not going to turn the airplane around because I have a problem at home. Have you ever been to Brazil? Buenos Aires, Argentina. Santiago, Chile. Never Brazil. Sweet. You guys have a great day. Again, my name is Darren. I'm a dad. I'm an airline pilot. I'm a husband of a scientist. This is Wednesday. There'll be a new video up tomorrow, Thursday. I am on reserve tomorrow. I don't think I get called, but the video is at 90% done. The video should be up tomorrow. My normal time is 2 p.m. Central. Could be later in the day. We'll have to see. I hope to have more videos quicker than next Thursday. So one tomorrow and maybe another one between now and then. If you have a question, you can DM me on Instagram, especially get a hold of me. You can comment on any of my videos. I do respond to every single comment. Have a great day. And as always, thank you for stopping by. Ba, 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 ba. Boo!